The Journey of Kindness. Keanu Reeves and a young boy's fight for hope. In the heart of every great story, there's often an unexpected hero, someone who, though they may not seek attention, offers a kind of generosity and care that changes lives. Keanu Reeves, the beloved actor known for his roles in The Matrix and John Wick, is often celebrated for his dedication to his craft. But the real story isn't just about his on-screen performances. It's about his character, and how his quiet acts of kindness have touched countless lives. This is the story of one such act. A simple letter, an unexpected response, and a young boy's battle against leukemia that was forever changed by Keanu's compassion. Daniel was just a typical 10-year-old boy, bright-eyed, energetic, and full of life. He spent his days running around the playground with his friends, reading books about superheroes, and dreaming of one day becoming a professional soccer player. But all of that came to an abrupt halt when, during a routine doctor's visit, Daniel was diagnosed with leukemia. The news came as a thunderclap, shaking the very foundation of his world. One day, he was living a carefree childhood, and the next, his life was consumed by hospital visits, chemotherapy, and the cold fear of the unknown. At first, Daniel didn't know how to react. His parents were devastated, and as his treatment began, he found himself facing an uphill battle. The chemotherapy sessions were brutal, leaving him drained, weak, and often in pain. His once bright future now seemed clouded with uncertainty. The boy, who had once looked up to his favorite heroes on the screen, now felt isolated and defeated. But even in the darkest of times, Daniel had one thing that never wavered: his admiration for Keanu Reeves. Keanu wasn't just an actor to Daniel. He was a symbol of strength and resilience. In interviews, Keanu had always come across as humble, kind, and genuine, someone who seemed to care deeply about others. Daniel wasn't just a fan of his movies. He admired Keanu for the way he carried himself in the world. And so, in his moment of despair, Daniel decided to write a letter. He didn't know what to expect, but he hoped that somehow, reaching out to his hero might bring some light into his life during such a dark time. Dear Keanu, the letter began. I've been fighting leukemia for a few months now. Some days are harder than others. I'm scared. But when I watch your movies, I feel like I can be strong too. You are my hero, not just because of your movies, but because of who you are as a person. I would love to hear from you. I need a little hope right now, and I hope you can give me some. Daniel didn't know whether Keanu would ever read the letter, let alone respond, but the act of writing it gave him a small sense of hope. Hope that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't alone in this fight. A few weeks passed, and life went on. But then, one day, everything changed. A package arrived at Daniel's house. It wasn't just any package, it was a letter from Keanu Reeves himself. The letter, written in Keanu's unmistakable handwriting, was short but heartfelt. Keanu thanked Daniel for his kind words and told him that he had been deeply moved by his courage. You are a warrior, Daniel, the letter read. I believe in you, and I want you to know that I'm with you in spirit as you fight this battle. Stay strong. You have the heart of a hero. But that wasn't all. Along with the letter, there was a personal video message from Keanu. It wasn't a pre-recorded, impersonal message. It was a genuine conversation, just for Daniel. Keanu spoke directly to him, telling him how proud he was of his bravery. He told Daniel that even though he may not be able to fight the disease for him, he could be there in other ways, by offering words of encouragement, by reminding him that he wasn't alone. Hi Daniel, it's Keanu, the video began, his calm voice full of warmth. I know things are tough right now, but I want you to know that you're not alone. There are so many people rooting for you, and I'm one of them. You've got the strength to get through this. Keep fighting. You're stronger than you think. For Daniel, hearing Keanu's voice felt like a lifeline. It was a small thing, really, a video message, but it was the kind of thing that made him believe in something bigger than himself. Keanu wasn't just an actor to him anymore. He was someone who genuinely cared. And as the days wore on, Daniel found himself drawing strength from those words. Each time he faced a particularly tough day, he would think back to the message, replaying Keanu's words in his mind. Keanu's support didn't stop there. Over the next few months, he continued to reach out to Daniel, sending messages of encouragement, sharing stories, and even arranging for Daniel to visit the set of one of his movies. Daniel's parents were overwhelmed by Keanu's kindness. They had never expected anything like this. They had simply written a letter to a hero, and what they received in return was far more than they could have ever imagined. But what Daniel didn't know at the time was that his relationship with Keanu would become more than just a source of comfort. It would become a driving force in his healing. As Daniel's physical condition began to improve, thanks to the treatment, the emotional support from Keanu had a lasting impact. Daniel wasn't just surviving leukemia, he was thriving emotionally and mentally, and that made all the difference. Keanu's influence went beyond just encouragement. He taught Daniel the importance of hope, of resilience, and of staying connected with others, even when life seemed impossible. Daniel began to understand that strength wasn't just about physical endurance, it was about mental and emotional endurance too. And with Keanu's guidance, Daniel found a new way to approach his illness, not as a burden, but as an opportunity to prove to himself just how strong he truly was. Daniel's recovery wasn't easy. There were still difficult days when the pain was unbearable and the uncertainty was overwhelming. But as he looked back on the journey, he realized that what had made the difference wasn't just the medicine, but the emotional and mental strength that had been instilled in him. Keanu's acts of kindness had given him the courage to keep fighting, even when the odds seemed stacked against him. By the time Daniel was declared cancer-free, he had become a changed person. He wasn't just a survivor, he was an advocate for others who were battling the same disease. He became involved in charity work, raising funds for cancer research and using his own story to inspire others. Daniel knew that his battle was far from over, but now he was fighting for something bigger, a cause that could help save lives, just as his own life had been saved by the kindness of someone who didn't even know him. Keanu, for his part, was humbled by the impact he had made. He didn't do it for recognition or to receive thanks. He did it because he believed in Daniel. And in doing so, he helped transform a young boy's life in ways that neither of them could have ever imagined. Daniel had always looked up to Keanu as a hero, but through their connection, he learned that real heroes weren't just those who wore capes, they were those who offered a hand when it was needed the most. The bond between Keanu and Daniel serves as a reminder that kindness has the power to change lives. It's the small acts, the words of encouragement, the unexpected gestures of care that often have the most profound impact. In a world that sometimes feels cold and unforgiving, stories like this remind us that we all have the power to make a difference in someone's life, simply by showing kindness and compassion. As the years went by, Daniel's story continued to inspire others. He spoke at events, telling people about the power of kindness and how a simple letter from a stranger had changed his life. He urged others to reach out, to show support, and to remember that sometimes the smallest acts of kindness could be the spark that ignites a person's will to live. Keanu, for his part, never asked for recognition. He continued to live his life in his quiet, humble way. But every now and then, when he looked back at the letter he had sent to Daniel, he realized that perhaps in helping a young boy, he had helped change the world in ways that couldn't be measured. It was never about fame or accolades, it was about human connection. And that, in the end, was what mattered most. Daniel's life, shaped by Keanu's kindness, went on to make a lasting impact. He became a symbol of hope for countless others, just as Keanu had been a beacon of light during his darkest days. And so the circle of kindness continued, spreading from one life to the next and reminding us all that, in a world that often seems indifferent, kindness is the thread that binds us all together.